I think Mariah Carey named one of her albums E equals MC squared because she's really a musical genius.
If it wasn't for Tony, oh.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming back with another artist spotlight, and this time it's on the one and only Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey, I feel like I have a very special connection with her because once upon a time I looked up what was the #1 song in the country when I was born, and it was this one. Yes, Fantasy. Fantasy is one of my favorite Mariah Carey songs out of her extensive catalog. I wanted to shed this spotlight on Mariah Carey because she's literally a soundtrack to my life. There's so many Mariah Carey songs I can think about, and it puts me in a time and place. It puts me on a nostalgic feeling where I can think about that era of my life. And I'm pretty sure y'all too. Mariah Carey, she's been out for over 30 years. Over 30 years, giving us all this great music. And to her artistic integrity and value, just knowing that she co-wrote, co-produced most, if not all of her songs, especially if it wasn't a cover, like that's to be praised and celebrated, because it's like, wow, you really think about it. Think about Mariah Carey's 30-year career, over 30-year career, her extensive catalog, 19 #1s. And just knowing that she co-wrote and co-produced most, if not all of them, come on. Growing up, my earliest memories of Mariah Carey, I would have to say, is her Heartbreaking music video. I can remember it's like the 2001 era, her Heartbreaker video. And I remember when she was dancing in the movie theater and she was fighting against herself when she had black hair in the bathroom.
In the midst of you and I can move. You got the best of me, but I just keep.
I remember I was obsessed with that video. I would watch it, rewind it all the time. And another memory of Mariah Carey I have is when she guest starred on The Proud Family.
Cheers. Come to mommy, baby.
And I was young at that time, but I was still so fascinated by her. Like, Mariah Carey is the true definition of a superstar. And not just looks, she has the talent to back it up. And I'm not saying anything against people that don't write their own songs or don't produce their own music, but I'm just like, you think about it, she's the full package, like the full package. Able to last in her career and how she's been able to even sustain even in this generation. And you know, this generation, they don't treat our 90s legends and our legends now like they're supposed to. Nowadays, like I always say in my other videos, it's always like oh, that was the past, we on to the present now. Oh, she's a has-been. No, Mariah Carey has been able to sustain, keep her legacy up. Now, you know, there's been tribulations and trials, and there's been all different type of stuff that happened in her career, but that has stopped her from continuing her legendary run, you know? And to get it into, when I say the musical genius of Mariah Carey, like, besides the fact that she co-wrote and produced most, if not all of her songs, is her music technicalities, her music knowledge, her lyrics. You know, sometimes she writes those fun songs, you can tell it's fun lyrics, but Mariah Carey's pen game is top tier. She's not in the Songwriters Hall of Fame for nothing. Her pen game is miles above a lot of people. And besides her songwriting, her harmonies, her vocal abilities, and I'm talking about throughout her whole career. And Mariah Carey has some of the best harmonies, background vocals, vocal arrangements. And it's been such a great experience just listening. Sometimes I go down that Mariah Carey rabbit hole and I just listen to her whole catalog from her early career to the middle to her current stuff. And you know, some people might say her current stuff doesn't hold up to her older stuff, but you know, I feel like at this point in her career, Mariah Carey just doing this for fun. Like, I'm not gonna go into it because y'all already know. Y'all can look on Wikipedia, see her all accomplishments and all of that. Like, Mariah Carey's voice is literally an instrument. You know how people use that term all the time, like, oh, my voice is an instrument, her voice is an instrument. No, Mariah Carey's voice is an instrument. You know, when you go to a Mariah Carey live show, no matter when it was, you didn't go to see Mariah Carey do a little two-step. You didn't go to see her do Janet Jackson, Beyonce choreography. You know what I'm saying? You go to hear her voice. Mariah Carey's voice is the show. You know, she might come out there with her nice little outfits, her hair and all that. She might have some little bop dances, but her voice is the show. She's extremely talented. I feel like nowadays and over her career, she's gotten a lot of flack, and people like to call her has-been, and people like to talk about her lip singing and, oh, her voice is bad, she can't sing no more, all of that. No. After all Mariah Carey has contributed to this music industry, to this entertainment industry, to music in general, you know, there's no way Mariah Carey can ever be a has-been. She's always going to be, you know, she's always going to be a legend, always going to be an icon, always going to be a vocal supreme, you know? And nobody can ever take that away from her. Of course, along the way, she's had some shaky performances. What artist hasn't? At this point in her, like I said, Mariah Carey, at this point in her career, she just does this for fun. But you think about all that Mariah Carey has given to this industry. This industry will eat you up, chew you up, and spit you out. And Mariah Carey has been able to sustain and last this 30 years of her career. A Christmas song. That's another thing. I always remembered Mariah Carey in my younger years from her Christmas song, All I Want for Christmas. That I used to play every year. Her Christmas song she wrote 26 years ago. 26 years ago. Her Christmas song, so legendary, so iconic, that it went straight to #1 on the Hot 100. 25 years later? Who else is doing that? Who else made a Christmas song? You know, she probably just did that for fun. She released it. It was like, that song is a staple. Retail workers around the world, I can't remember one Christmas when I didn't hear All I Want for Christmas Is You. And the fact that that song is so iconic that it went #1 in the country 25 years later? Like, come on. Dealing with Mariah Carey and her musical genius is her whistle register. How could you talk about Mariah Carey and not mention her whistle register? And it's not just the whistle register, like, oh, she can hit that type of note and do a little. No. Mariah Carey, even though her voice is an instrument, a part of that, she also uses her whistle register as an instrument. You gotta really pay attention. Like, if you really listen to Mariah Carey song with some deep HD headphones, you can really hear how she would use her whistle register as an instrument, as an overlay, as a complement, as an ad-lib in the background to her background vocals. Using a whistle register to complement her background vocals, to complement her main vocals, and just the blend and her mind. Mariah Carey's mind. Like I said, she co-wrote and co-produced these songs herself. Vocal arrangements, everything. And you ever just listen to some of her catalog, and it's like, and not even just her popular singles, her #1s, some of her album cuts. It's like, oh my God, how is she so talented? Wow. No. Mariah Carey, she came through, she did what she had to do. She blessed the music industry. It's never been the same since 1990, right? Love her ad-libs. You ever listen to some of Mariah Carey's songs and you hear her ad-libs? You just think about it. Like, sometimes when you listen to it, it seems simple, but it's like simple but complex, because like nobody else is making music like this. Nobody else is using these type of ad-libs. And
Don't be afraid to fly. Open up the door.
was Butterfly Reprise. I love that. I listen to that on loop. And that's another thing with Mariah Carey. Some of her songs, is it just me? Or she has those type of songs where you keep rewinding certain parts because they're just like ear candy. Listening to certain parts, it hits that sweet spot where you just want to hear it over and over again. Like sometimes I can't even get through a whole Mariah Carey song because I keep rewinding certain parts of it. Like that's how good, that's how great, no, that's how amazing, that's how dope, that's how talented Mariah Carey's voice is. Some people don't give her enough credit because people think, here's another thing. With Mariah Carey's vocals, a lot of people, some people, because Mariah Carey she did a lot of this is not me, but as people call it, whisper singing, where she has that softer, you know how I say like Aaliyah used to use. Mariah Carey, she know how to use that softer voice, her head voice, her chest voice. She know how to mix all of that in a song. Her whistle register, she knew how to mix all of that into a song, into a complete package. And it's been blessing my ears ever since. It's with being the artist of the decade. You think about it, Mariah Carey had a #1 hit in every single year of the 90s. Like, come on. Who was doing it like Mariah Carey? And I know compared to as far as vocals and everything, there was that Whitney versus Mariah thing where everybody was like, Whitney Houston versus Mariah Carey. Who was better? Who was the better singer? Stop. They each had their own thing going on. They each had their own vocal techniques, vocal capabilities. You might have think, okay, Mariah might have edged Whitney out here, Whitney might have edged Mariah here, but no, they're both at the top, but they're in their own lane, They're in the same lane, but they're in their own lane, if you know what I mean. Another thing Mariah Carey has also been credited for is combining that R&B and hip hop. Like, I know how I said about Fantasy being the #1 song in the country when I was born, and that being one of my favorite Mariah songs, where she featured ODB on it. Me and Mariah go back like babies in pants. Like, that was a breakthrough. That was a historic moment. And at the time, it might not have been, people might have thought about it, but you think about it, all these years later, 25 years later, it's like, Mariah Carey has done so much for music. It would be disrespectful not to give her props. Mariah Carey, this is not a video of like, oh, Mariah Carey doesn't get enough. No, she gets her well due. She gets her flowers. Mariah Carey, she's inducted in every Hall of Fame and almost every Hall of Fame. She got all the accolades, all the #1s, Grammys, even though she was snubbed for some Grammys. The real fans know Mariah Carey was snubbed for some Grammys. She has all the success, all the record sales. You check her net worth, she's been doing good. But it's like, I just wanted to shed light on how much Mariah Carey has contributed to music in general. She's made so many breakthroughs. She's made so much history. She's made so much impact. That is like, no matter what you can say, or even if her voice is not the same as it used to be, she's not doing as good as she used to be, or her record sales is not the same. This is Mariah Carey. Like, there's no way anybody can say that will ever take any success, accolade, breakthrough, history-making moment, record-breaking moment from Mariah Carey. I remember being in middle school and We Belong Together was that song. I remember later on in middle school, Touch My Body was that song. Like, Mariah Carey, I think about my childhood, to my middle school years, my high school years, my college years. Mariah Carey has always been there. Like, Mariah Carey is an everlasting legend, and nobody can ever take that away from her. And even now, sometimes I scroll on Twitter and I follow the Mariah Carey trend, and every other week, every other month, Mariah Carey's bringing another record, and it's just like, she could do that in her sleep. Like, Mariah Carey probably somewhere sleeping, eating, taking care of her kids, breaking records nonchalantly. Like, that's how legendary Mariah Carey is. And who could forget that Honey era, where we all know where everything that happened with Tommy Mottola and how he tried to get J-Lo to replace her. J-Lo, out of all people, out of all artists, J-Lo, that's another one of my favorite songs from her. And one of my favorite albums, if not my favorite album from Mariah Carey. So, anyways, guys, this was just my artist spotlight on Mariah Carey and her brilliance, and her musical genius, and her legendary career. To end this, I just wanted to go down a list of my favorite Mariah Carey songs. There's so many I could choose from, but to make it easier, I'm gonna go from her 19. I'm gonna go from her 19 number ones. And let's see. So my favorite Mariah Carey songs out of her number ones: Fantasy, of course, Always Be My Baby, Emotions, All I Want for Christmas Is You, Honey, 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 Someday, We Belong Together, Love Takes Time, Heartbreaker, Don't Forget About Us. Ooh, I love that song. Touch My Body, and My All. That's basically like 80% of the list. Like, it was just me giving my flowers to Mariah Carey personally, thanking her for all the great music and her musical brilliance over the last 30 plus years. And I want to know, what do y'all think about Mariah Carey as an artist? What do y'all think about her career and how she has sustained all these years? And what are y'all favorite Mariah Carey songs? Let me know down below in the comments. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.